Welcome to today's video. Today's video we're going to be finding out, has the build quality on the Model 3 improved in 2020? Now the first thing anyone ever mentions when you talk about a Tesla Model 3 is they ask you, oh, they've got really bad panel gaps. Now I've had a quick look at all the panel gaps around the car. I've not measured them to some extreme that some people notice, because let's be honest, you don't need to measure them, you need to look by the eye, and if they're noticeable by the eye, that's what's important. Now panel gaps, pretty much consistent gap all the way throughout the car. The only issue I've noticed is more panel alignment, which is the front door and the rear doors. Because of this silver trim, it's really noticeable when the door's slightly off, and there is that, but these can be sorted at a service station afterwards. But the point is, it shouldn't come out of the factory like this, so these should have been picked up pre-factory, and they shouldn't be picked up once the car's been delivered. But yes, there is a couple. You have got the right of rejecting the car when you go and look at it, and you also have got 7 days to reject the car, but it's nothing too bad. The customer wanted the car immediately, and I told them that, you know, it's basically within Tesla's typical build quality specs. But yes, it's not great, but the actual gaps themselves, nothing too bad. Now the other thing I picked up at the service centre was this rear bumper isn't fitted particularly well. Now if this was another manufacturer, again, it wouldn't have left the factory. Told the service centre before I left with the car, and they said it was in with acceptable tolerances. Rang the owner who's buying this car, and again, they're happy to accept it. Now, there was a scratch on the other side, which I picked out, and that's been painted, refilled, it's been sorted before I left. I had to wait a while they sorted it, but they fixed that before I left, so that's gone, I can't see it. But the point is, I had to pick it out. They didn't have someone quality assessing the car before I picked it up. Now the worst thing I found out about Tesla's build quality when I picked this car up was not actually any of the panel gaps or any of the other little bits. It was actually the paintwork was awful. I mean, really bad, nowhere near what I'd expect from a £60,000 car. If you were buying the base Model 3, you might be on acceptable levels, but I mean, even then I wouldn't accept it. This is not the type of paintwork I'd accept from Renault. It's like a pebble dash, it's awful. I mean, the front bumper is by far the worst. I mean, if this came in as a second-hand car and I didn't know what Tesla's paint quality was like, I'd assumed it's been resprayed by a body shop that doesn't know what they're doing. The wing mirrors are exactly the same. The actual overall paintwork on the bonnet and the rest of the car isn't as bad. That's actually okay compared to some of the Model 3s that were part there for being collected. This was probably one of the best by a mile, but it's just that paint is awful. I mean, I'm going to try and sort this out before it goes to my customer. I'm going to try and buff it, flatten it down a bit, make it look a little bit better. But I shouldn't have to, it's a brand new car. Now Tesla is building a new paint shop at Fairmont, so hopefully these issues will be sorted. And soon with Giga Berlin coming online, I'd expect the German quality of the factory to be seriously improved over this, and that is really what I'm looking forward to, is Tesla's build quality starting to come up. That they can no longer play the card of, we're the small tech company that make cars. They are a car company that have tech. Now we're in the interior. Interior is the exact build quality I'd expect for a £60,000 car. It's immaculate. There is nothing wrong with it. The only fault with the interior is when I came to pick it up from the Tesla service station, it was dirty. There was a black mark on the rear seats that hadn't been valeted off properly. Just a small little thing that I pointed out, and they went to clean it when they sorted out the paintwork at the back. Now, it's a smaller minor point and it should have been sorted, and I shouldn't have to check a brand new car over before I take it away. And I could have cleaned it myself, but it was a matter of principle, and also I didn't want to rub it and damage the leather in any way and then them blame me. So I left that to them, let them sort that. But the actual overall quality of the interior is immaculate. It's perfect. There's no stitching faults, there's no misalignment in the panels inside, nothing hanging off. Everything fits perfectly. So yes, there is overall still fairly poor build quality on the outside of the car. It still drives absolutely as you'd expect from a Tesla, perfect. Software on the car is the best in the class. There's nothing that makes software as good as Tesla, and there's nothing that's as fun to sort of drive at the moment for this price range. You can get a Porsche Taycan, you'll get brilliant build quality throughout and a fast car, but it's over £100,000 and it's a lot of money. Would I still buy a Model 3 knowing about these build quality issues? Yes, at the moment, why there is very few cars that compete on the Model 3's price range for what you get: performance, looks, style and software. That's the main reason why people have Teslas, is because of autopilot. And Tesla need to be careful, because if they don't fix out these smaller build issues, other companies are now coming out with other cars. Like Volvo have got the Polestar 2 coming out, which is going to be, again, they're trying to copy Tesla's software image. Volkswagen are coming out with the ID, they're trying to copy Tesla's tech image with all this augmented reality sat-nav system. So if Tesla don't start picking up the car building game, which Elon has recently announced the Model Y needs to be built better, then Tesla are going to start losing sales. And I do think that Tesla will improve them. I'm just disappointed that they still haven't proved them since I drove the original one of these on my honeymoon a couple of years ago. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're a Tesla fan, please do not be upset by what I've said. I'm just trying to point out faults that are there. People who are spending £60,000, the majority of people buying this car who have no Tesla background knowledge, would reject this car on site, and that is going to cost Tesla money. Please check out my other videos. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to like the content and share it with your friends. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.